Boy, it's hot inside this studio. We got some hot action today. The Dallas Cowboys, you know, they head to training camp in Oxnard next week. Fans excited. No one more so than the people we will bring in live in studio this week. It kicks off today, Cowboys Fandemonium. And who's on deck? Gregg Wilson, a.k.a. the Wreckin' Ball.
That's right, that's right. I know what you guys are thinking. Where in the world did I get these sunglasses? Now,
yeah, I mean, they're pretty sweet.
Hey, you know, at the end of the day, I was really nervous about coming live on air because, you know, the camera adds 10 pounds, and so my head's going to look enormous. I don't know. So I had no idea. But either way, thank you so much for having me here today. So.
Okay, so take us back to the beginning. How did you become the Wrecking Ball?
You know, it started off. You know, I was always going to games. That wasn't the issue, but it wasn't until the new stadium. Was developed, and I was sitting there, and it was, you know, it was kind of quiet in the first year. Like it was kind of like the hush puppy kind of like golf clapping kind of fan. So I said, well, if I can't go crazy like screaming, I'll just make myself look as obnoxious and as loud as possible. So, you know, as an engineering solution, perfect one, a sphere on top of your head, and I just made myself look as large and as big as I possibly could, and it just stuck now. I've been doing this since the new stadium opened.
In 2009, Wrecking Ball. Yeah. You're an aerospace engineer.
That's right.
Your wife is an aerospace engineer.
Yes.
So you have the state-of-the-art helmets.
Yes.
What is the time frame as we look at your wonderful collection? We start talking about Thanksgiving, and then there's the Salvation Army, Salute to Service behind me. There's breast cancer awareness. How long does it take for you to make one of these from start to finish?
So it really depends. Some can take a day, some can take months. You know, the Lego one, for example, took me, gosh, a couple months. You have to come up with the concept first, and then you have to develop it and create it. You know, my wife, as you said, you know, she thinks I'm getting a big head, but you know, she'll wear the helmet from. I affectionately call her Wrecking Wife.
Okay.
But you know, she wears the helmets from time to time too. You know, she's always been a big fan of everything I do, and yeah, it's fun. Like I think the fun part is the creation side of it. You know, this represents plus or minus 20 helmets what I might wear in a given season. You know, as you know, as each game comes along, usually there's a theme for the game, whether it's breast cancer awareness, like you said, military appreciation, or just the holidays. So I like to flow with whatever you know, I want to be applicable for that game, and the fans seem to appreciate it, so I like it too.
and we didn't mean to be rude, but we didn't even introduce the little guy sitting next to you.
Yeah, this guy. Well, his name's Joey Balls. He's I'm not gonna talk. He talks with a New York accent. He's actually he's a good little sidekick. You know, he's a bit of a super spreader though. You know, back in COVID, he gets fuzz everywhere. So you know, so either way, the Cowboys usually I can't really take them to the games anymore because at this point, you know, it could be seen as a weapon. And then so the first thing Joey goes, he goes, a weapon? What, are you gonna shoot me out of a cannon? You know, so yeah, he was. So Joey, unfortunately, I think he does all the side gigs. He doesn't necessarily go to the stadium anymore.
Oh, sad. Poor Joey.
Yeah.
Gregg, what has been the biggest compliment, and from whom have you received that? I'm talking about somebody notable over your time since you started designing these cool helmets.
I'll never forget. It was actually recently. It was Drew Pearson. I was in the tunnel, and everyone was coming out. All the Hall of Famers were coming out. There was I forget if it was a jacket presentation after, you know, someone going into the Hall of Fame, and then Jerry. I can't repeat exactly what he said, but he says, "Where in the do you come up with these ideas?" Because he's seen it over the years too. I mean, he's even worn a helmet a couple times back in the day. So. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You know?
So I have to imagine, I mean, you spend a lot of time, like you've said, making these helmets, a lot of money to attend all these games.
Yeah.
What makes it worthwhile to you?
Well, I mean, I'm a passionate fan, just like everyone else. I mean, it depends, right? There's different types of fans. I mean, I'll never say that you can't be an amazing fan who is living in another state watching the games from home. It's just, this is my outlet, and for me, I like the helmets because it gives me something. It gives me something fun to do. Let's face it, you have to have a good sense of humor if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. We're talking like almost 28 years now without a Super Bowl. So if you can't go to the games with a smile on your face, then I don't know how you're going to make it through the year. So yeah, it's you kind of get a tough exterior becoming a Dallas Cowboys fan. It's not for the faint of heart.
You definitely have to have a tough shell, for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Wreckin' Ball, we're on the verge of the start of training camp.
Yeah.
What is it about this team? You mentioned almost 3 decades since the last Super Bowl title.
Yeah.
What is it that gives you hope year after year? Because to me, that's what really resonates as a super fan.
Well, every year you're thinking Super Bowl. You have to. You don't do it if you don't do what we do if you're not thinking it's going to be a Super Bowl season. And I hang on to the bitter end until it's mathematically impossible to make the playoffs. I don't give up until then. I don't care what they say of power rankings and all that stuff, because anything can happen. It's like it's like every team has this possibility. It's like we were talking. It's like spinning a roulette wheel. Right. Is your number going to hit that year? And I know it's going to happen, and it's when we least expect it too. There's been seasons where we thought we weren't going to have a good year, and then all the expectations immediately turned to the Super Bowl.
And whether the Cowboys win or lose this year, this season for you in particular has an even bigger meaning that stretches beyond football. Describe what that means.
Well, so unfortunately, with the breast cancer awareness, so my mother is or was a 45-year breast cancer cancer survivor. Actually, she unfortunately passed away just before Christmas, this past Christmas, and. She always went through life with a smile on her face, and she had cervical breast cancer, bone cancer, and finally liver cancer took her. But you would never know. Even from talking to her, she's the happiest person in the world. Sorry, this interview just took an emotional turn, but that's why this season especially, it's because it's the first one. We've talked about the games on the phone, because when she would make it to the games whenever she could. So it's very special. I mean, the Cowboy fans, they come from all walks of life, and it's something that kind of can give you a purpose. And everyone always says this, that it's more than just a game. I mean, it's the friendships you make at the stadium. It's right down to the security guards. Those are meaningful relationships that everyone has. It's a family. That's what it feels like to be a Cowboys fan.
We just showed, while you were talking and answering Madison's question, we just showed the picture of you and your mom.
Yeah.
With your arms around each other.
Yeah.
And as much as you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, you can tell us she was a fan of yours.
No, she was my biggest hero. That woman. One of the reasons why I do the helmets is because it made her smile. Like, it's one of your first reaction when you see it usually is a smile. And when you're walking around with, I get to see the best of people. It's weird to say that, but when I walk through the stadium, I'm seeing laughter. Like, someone could be grumpy, and as soon as they see me walk around, they just start laughing or giggling. And it's just really cool to live that experience of just floating through a room and getting this genuine happy reaction from people. And it's addictive. I can see why comedians do what they do. That laughter it truly is medicine.
And I can imagine that you are going to be shining a light for not only other Cowboys fans, but for your mom this season.
Yeah.
So when you put on these helmets, I'm sure it's kind of like children. You have a secret favorite. So which one is your secret favorite helmet?
I kind of flip-flop. Obviously, headlight. When this thing's on, this is spectacular. You can see this from anywhere in the stadium when this guy's on. This one, it's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving game is special anyways. So when I know that Thanksgiving game, I get to be like, turkey ball. There's always, I always love the Christmas ornament, because I always like to tell people, they go, oh, that's cool. And I say, I'm just a reflection of you, so there's definitely, this one was fun to make. The Salvation Army one's cool. It actually works too. You can actually put money into the top of that.
I see the little coin slot.
Yeah, so I can. That's a great way for me to collect money and make donation at the end of the season. Cool. It's a really fun. The Reunion Tower, which is Dallas, that's a perfect replica of the Reunion Tower. I had to go and basically reverse engineer it's a geodesic design, and I didn't even know how to make one, and I was like, how am I going to do this? And then if you look at it, it's a perfect to scale Reunion Tower.
and so Gregg, I mean, you made this one. I'm not going to ask Madison to mess up her hair.
Well,
I have nothing to mess up.
She could. I told her if she wanted to wear one, all she needs is a ball gown.
That's right, a ball gown, yeah.
So where can people get these? Because I know you can't sell the ones with the Cowboys trademark star.
Yeah, this is my personal collection. This is what I wear to the games, and so many people love the helmet that obviously I have a generic line like of baseballs, basketballs, soccer balls, and even an American flag helmet. Now this is the reason why the American flag helmet is so specific here is because we are America's team.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear Miss Price talk about that nonstop. Like we're America's team. Let me tell you. And there's no other team that's America's team, and that's why I always say that's how you show your pride.
So what do you think, Keith?
You know what? I mean, I feel light on my feet, heavy on my head.
Yeah. He looks like Evel Knievel.
Yeah, you look like you're ready to do some stunts.
Yeah, right. It's like, is that what it's hard to be at work? Look, and now you're protected. Every time she hits you, you don't.
Yeah, I felt nothing. I felt nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Gregg, we appreciate you coming in so much. You know, we want to roll some video of tomorrow's guests. We said it's a week long. Right. You kicked off our series tomorrow. It is Tattoo Mark. Your good buddy, Tattoo Mark, is coming in the studio. What can you tell us about Tattoo Mark? What should people be prepared for tomorrow?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I always say that he should. I think he should leave some skin somewhere so that he can get like the next Super Bowl tattoo. That would be my thing, right? That. No, but it's like, that's passion, right? When you see someone put tattoos all over their body, they've committed themselves and dedicated themselves to a team that, I personally wouldn't do it, but I mean, heck, give it up to him, right? Like, I mean, the good, like applause there, right? Who else is? I mean, there's a lot of people who tattoo themselves, but he went like you'll get a star or something, but he went all in.
Well, you may not have tattoos, but you certainly have passion and plenty of it, and I love the fact that this season has an even bigger.
Well, and this season is important because, like I was saying earlier, I mean, if we don't win a Super Bowl this year, heads are going to roll one way or another, whether we win or lose. That's for me, one way.
You heard it here.
You heard the warning from Wreckin' Ball.
I'll be rolling on. I'll be rolling around season after season. So yeah, we're gonna get there. Just be patient.
And your little buddy, even if
he'll be around. You'll see him around like that tailgates and stuff.
Okay.
That's his zone.
Well, maybe we can buy him a ticket. He can get in.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I bought him a ticket. They had no choice. They let me in one year, and I think after that, then it was.
They found a loophole to close.
Well, I think it's And,
that's a child price.
He's harmless. He's harmless. Oh, people do think he's a child, by the way. They think I'm holding him up. They don't realize it's a puppet until I turn it around. Yeah, he's pretty fun. He's a.
Gregg, thank you for helping us roll into this week of Cowboys Fandemonium.
Thank you so much for having me, and this has been a pleasure. It's an honor to come and talk with you guys, and yeah, I can't wait to see the next super fans that you guys are going to interview as well. They're all friends of mine. I've known them for years, so it's good.
There we go.
You're ready. You're ready.
That was Madison's way to say it. That was
ready to roll.
Knocking on the door, like, hey, get the break, get the commercial break. That was Madison's signal.
That's where you just go, let's roll.
All right, Gregg, Wreckin' Ball, thank you, man. Again, tomorrow, day 2 of Cowboys Fandemonium with Tattoo Mark at 9:30. You can see it right here on the stream.